Welcome back. So this is lesson number 9, and this is our continuation of how to play thirds. And we're focusing on major thirds for now. We'll probably have a separate lesson on minors, but it's kind of similar. And so to review, let's bring up a little screen here. Let's see here. Lesson 7 was just the introduction for Brown-Eyed Girl. We really didn't go through the theory, or we just played it without understanding the system. Lesson 8 and 9, this is 9. In 8, we went through and we showed how the D major shape and the D minor shape can be used, those chord shapes all over the fretboard can be used to pull out on the D and B strings the thirds, the notes for the thirds. So lesson 8 goes through that, goes through also the E major shape and the E minor shape, and how the G and the E strings can be used, how you can pull out thirds from the G and the E strings. So, you know, real quick, in review, you have now you need to play the D with the additional, let's see, let's get a little closer. You need to play the D with the additional, you can't play a D like this, you know, just the triangle. You got to add this extra note because this is the D string, right? We're trying to get a note out of the D string at one of the thirds. So I'm plucking now, this is the D shape, but I'm plucking the D and the B string, right? That's the first half of that. So here's the D, then the minor, A minor and B minor, right? That's the minor, that's the D minor shape. So you use the major shape to start with, and then use the minor shape for the rest of it. But you can look at lesson 8, we'll go through more detail. And then you take the E shape, and you're going to take the G and the E string. So this is the E shape, then the E minor shape. So right, and you go right up the scale. And we showed in that lesson how you can go right up the scale here. And when we play G, we're playing, you know, G, A minor, B minor, right up the scale. We showed how you go right up the fretboard. And we're using part of that for the intro for Brown-Eyed Girl. So lesson 8 is important to go through and look at that if you haven't done that yet. Also, let's see here. What we're going to look at here now in this lesson, we're going to go back to the D major and D minor shapes. I'm going to show you how using the D major and D minor shapes could allow us to play the B and the E strings. And then after we get through this theory in lesson 9, we'll do another video on, we'll take a couple of songs where this is used, and to show you how you can leverage it for some other songs. I think we'll do Tequila Sunrise. That has a nice B and an E string, triads from the B and the E string in Tequila Sunrise. We'll do that. And then we'll do another song, probably What's Up, by Four Non-Blondes. And there's some improvisation we could do now that we've learned this. So let's go back to the guitar and let's show you how we can get the use of this D shape. Right now, instead of using the D shape here, we're not using the D string anymore. We're focusing on the B and E in this lesson, right? So this lesson is going to focus on the B and E string. The 9th lesson here on the B and E strings. But we're going to use the D major and the D minor shapes. So let's start at the bottom and give us some extra real estate. So here's a D. Right, we're not going to bother with this D because we're not using the D string. We're focusing on the B and E. So this is the D, and similarly, this is the D minor we're going to use. We'll focus on that. Simpler. We won't use this minor shape because again, we don't need the D string here. So what we're going to do is we'll go right up the scale, right? Major, minor. Let me just show you one more quick review. I'm going to go, we'll start with D. We'll do major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, and minor. As I said in the other lesson, we're going to play the minor scale, the minor C sharp, because the C sharp diminished. Well, you don't have to play that because the two notes we need are in the C sharp diminished and in the C sharp minor, because the diminished has a lot of attributes that are similar to the minor chord. So we're just going to play the minor for the C sharp diminished, okay? So we're going to go right up the scale with chords. with chords. So go right up to using the chords, right? D, then D minor. Sorry, D, E minor. I'm just going to play these two notes though. F sharp minor. These two notes. D, minor, minor, major, major, minor, minor, major. Right? I just went right up that scale. Now I'm playing just the two strings from each of those chords. Instead of this, I'm just playing these two. And instead of playing this E minor, I'm just playing these two strings here. So it's major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, minor, major. Now that might sound familiar to some of you folks. There's this old song called Blue Spanish Eyes, and that song comes right out of going up that scale, and it shows you how pauses can change the music. When you learn to improvise, they always say just don't play, just don't play up a scale. You've got to have some breaks and some pauses. So with a few breaks and pauses, someone took that scale and just went right up the scale and did Blue Spanish Eyes. If you know the song, if not, you can listen to it on YouTube. Hold on a second, I'm getting paged, beeped. Sorry for the interruption. So again, that's right up the scale, a little bit back and forth here. Uh-oh. Sorry. And then it goes a little deeper, and then it starts a little bit lower with the with this chord here, with the F sharp minor. So it starts here with a D, and then it goes up the scale, then it goes a little bit lower, that's the C sharp minor actually. There's the C sharp minor. So that's really all I wanted to cover for today. I wanted to give a continuation of the last lesson, and as I showed earlier, we're going to whoops, we've got to get this guy up here. So I added this B and the E string, pulling thirds on the B and E string using the D major and D minor shape, right? Sorry, let me point over here. We used in this lesson, lesson 9. We focused on the B and E strings using the D major and D minor shape. It went right up the scale, like with that. So between the lesson 8 and lesson 9, you really should have a pretty good handle on how to pull thirds out of these those 4 strings, right? The D, the G, the B, and the E strings. And you got to practice it like anything else, and that pattern that you see in that chord chart. And I'll put both these charts. I'll put both these charts in the lesson so you can download this little reminder of what we're doing in the lessons, and also this chart here, which is very useful. And the minors are a little bit different. We'll do minors in another lesson, and maybe we'll do that quickly. And it shouldn't take long to do that because it's a similar concept. It's just that the pattern is different, right? It's minor, minor, major, minor, minor, major, major. So the 3rd and the 6th and the 7th chords are majors. So obviously it's different than 1, 4, 5, like we said in the last lesson. The 1, 4, 5 is where the majors are, but in the minor keys, it's the 3, 6s, and 7s. So it's a little bit different focus. So we'll do that in a brief video, and then what we'll do is we'll tackle a couple of songs and have some fun with the songs. So ciao for now. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye.